PC7 here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Farming Simulator 2013. And we are, of course, on the Riverside map. And, spending the night cutting grass because the other two fields are now done. They've both been harvested, they've both been replanted, sprayed, etc., etc. I also sold off what we made and what we had, most of what we had in our silos, because we were down to about 7 grand, so we're sitting at 61,000. And I guess I could advance time here, as I don't actually have anything other than what's growing, so let's do that. That'll also bring the morning around and we'll have a little more light to deal with. So yeah, I bought that self-propelled forage wagon dealie from the old time pack that Giants offered as free DLC. And I picked that up because I figured we'd get this field all mowed, and then we could decide on whether or not to leave this as grass, because they didn't start us with a lot. We only have the 3 fields here, and yeah, one of them is, of course, grass. And the big deal with a grass field is you can't just plant over it, of course. We're going to have to entirely plow the field if we want to use it for something else. And I'm thinking what might actually be an idea is I might plow a field out of the center of it, and then kind of leave a nice wide grass border around the outside, because we are going to need grass for our cows. And sheep, of course. Which I do plan on doing, both cows and sheep. Ooh, missed a big patch. That's okay. But I don't, at least not right away, think we're going to need this much grass. And then beyond that, our only option would be to buy another field, because there's not really a lot in the way of grass strips and stuff. Not once you start feeding cattle and doing all of that. You quickly find those sort of things can run out. So yeah, we're just waiting for other 2 fields to grow in. I planted canola in both of them. And I think our silage that we did up the last time is almost ready to pull the tarp off of. Can't really do anything with it yet, but that's okay too, because we're almost in a position where we can start to buy a few cows, which is cool. It's something I'm looking forward to. This map was designed to keep critters going. The water mod has been included, so that's something else we will be dealing with very quickly here. This is not going to be a very long episode. I'm pretty much just waiting for our other 2 fields to ripen so that we can harvest again, because we need to go on a bit of a plant and harvest, plant and harvest, plant and harvest until we can raise the funds to get some bigger equipment. I want to upgrade our seeder and our cultivator next. The only thing that I did buy was that little forage unit, and that's pretty cheap. It's under the 20 grand mark, whereas a forage wagon, I believe the cheapest one, the heck is it, 70 grand or so? So I could probably find a mod one cheaper, but I thought, what the heck, they do give us that thing in that DLC pack, so let's make use of it. As the sun comes up over our farm, and when I'm finished the grass mowing, I am going to want to what do they call it? Not a tedder, but a windrow. I'm going to want to run the windrower over it. At least I want to try it, because this particular texture that they're using for the cut grass, I mean, it definitely shows you what you have and haven't cut, What it doesn't really do, or at least so I found when I ran the self-propelled forage truck there around the outside edge where I'd cut that one strip when we first started this map. And it did pick it up. I actually got 30% of the little truck full from that one strip. It did pick it up, and then I took it up to the cow barn and dumped it into 2 of the troughs that accept grass. So, one, I guess, was the sheep's trough for grass, and the other one would have been the actual cattle trough for grass. And so they sort of share a common ground. This is a pretty big field. But at least we're not burning through the money. That's funny. I almost lost the tractor and the cultivator. I had it on hired worker, and they were doing the field beside us there, field 15, and it's actually pretty close to the water's edge in some places. And I was just delivering a trailer full of whichever one of the crops anyways, out to the Agra Point by the mill there, and decided that I'd, just for the heck of it, pop into the hired worker's tractor to make sure that he wasn't in any trouble. And the cultivator was already underwater. He was still in the process of backing up, and just as I got into the thing and was about to hit the H and take over, he pulled forward. And yeah, that was pretty close. As you know, or may not know, I don't know, but if you follow my series that I'm doing for 2011, which is also on a Riverside map because I'm doing Pro Farm, I haven't actually shown it in that episode yet, but I've had to buy some new equipment because kind of the same thing happened. Only difference being, it was my combine harvester. It was on auto worker doing exactly the same field, because they are pretty much twins, the maps. Not quite, but pretty close. The fields are in the same places. And yeah, I noticed that the harvester had stopped for a while. I think I was running the baler, so I was quite busy. And I noticed the harvester hadn't been going up at all for a little bit. So I went to click into it, and I couldn't. It cycled through all the machines but the harvester. So I went to where I left it, and it wasn't there, but oh look, there it was, 40 feet away, completely underwater. So your options at that point with 2011, of course, is you either reset every vehicle you own, and it doesn't reset it to your farm, it resets it to the store on that particular map, or you sell what's screwed up and buy a new one. So, as I had just been running trailers pretty much the whole time to sell crops, and as that map actually starts you with $500,000 worth of crops sitting in the fields, that's what I did. I ended up selling the combine harvester and buying one of the new Cat ones, much bigger, much faster unit. But yeah, so as I say, the exact same field in exactly the same place. I almost lost my tractor. So, being Farming Simulator 2013, of course, I could have just reset the tractor and the implement and I would have been fine. But, wow. Yeah, you'd think you'd learn, but no, not me. So, but this is going to take a while. I don't really want to split the video. I just sort of wanted to catch people up to where I was and what we were doing. As I say, we're going to start harvesting next episode, and I should also be able to get all of this together and get it on its way up to the cows. So, but I think until then, I'm going to call her an episode. So, until next we meet, be good to each other. This has been Species 7, and ciao for now.